Hey, this is Luke with the Android Guys podcast. I'm here as always with Scott. What's up, Scott?
What's going on, Luke?
Nothing. You want to review a game?
I'd be glad to.
All right, you do it.
All right. I am talking about a game. I guess you qualify it as a game. It's not an app. I'm an old man, Luke.
Okay.
And I like to do word searches.
Oh, hey, there's nothing wrong with a good word search.
No, I got the itch.
Yeah.
For myself a couple weeks ago. I found somebody had a word search book. And it was laying there, so I picked it up and was like, well, yeah, I'm just gonna have to get an app now and start doing this. And this is my life.
Okay.
So I had a really hard time finding word search games in the Play Store.
It doesn't strike me as something that's super popular.
Dude, there are so many word search games.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's insane. The one that I landed on has more than 10 million installs.
That's many.
That's a lot of people. And this name, if you're looking it up, I mean, it's called Word Search hyphen Word Puzzle Game.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
It's all the stuff you would put in the search to find this game.
Yeah.
It's from Blackout Lab.
Okay.
Not labs or anything. Blackout Lab. I was drawn to it because I just thought, okay, the color scheme looks interesting rather than like some washed out palette.
Yeah, just black and white.
It's just letters, right? Yeah. So it stuck out to me in seeing that it had a 4.8 score
and a ton of downloads.
And with 10 million installs, I thought, oh, this sounds. I think I could trust.
Yeah, there's been some
people.
thought put into this game, maybe.
Yeah, because there are a ton of games out there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it a 4.8.
Okay.
That's a little too high for me.
Okay.
I come in at around 3.3.
I mean, it's not terrible.
It's above average.
Yeah, but it's not what you would hope for in a game that people are saying is a 4.8.
And I'll tell you what really kind of brought this down.
Okay.
You cannot opt out of ads.
At all.
Ooh. That I could find. And you get them after every puzzle.
Okay.
Some of these puzzles you can have down inside of a minute.
Ooh.
You will go through the levels. They get increasingly bigger, the puzzles, if you kind of just follow to see where you are. I was really loving it, digging it for, I don't know how many levels it was. I didn't even see an ad. And I thought, man, no wonder this thing is so highly rated. And then it happened.
Oh.
Every time you complete something, you have an ad.
Ugh.
So, and that's not every word. That's every puzzle.
Yeah.
And a puzzle might have 12 words.
Okay.
I find some of the words to also be repetitive. So if you kind of go through the level, you'll see where you're like, oh, you're on level 26, 27. If you go back to the main menu, then you can go in and kind of do these other challenges. Like you can pick, say, I want to do pro level. I want to do these themes. So one of them might be like celebrities.
Okay. And
there may be like 30 different puzzles you can do for that. But I find some of the puzzles to be like really repetitive. Like Clooney shows up on every one so far.
Sure.
Because it's an actor. Like
yeah.
celebs.
So they're using a limited resource of words and just kind of putting them, if it's, vertical and correctly read top to bottom, this other one might be backwards.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
As you draw out the if you see the word and you just drag your finger to kind of find and select that word, you can see it spelling it out. Even if it's backwards, you drag it backwards, it'll spell it out properly. And then you just stop and then it highlights it. So there's like 5 or 6 colors. And as you go through, it might be red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And then, so you start out with like animals, you might see, fish. But you also might have like elephant, small words, big words, just like a regular word search. But I find that on easy, you're only looking at like a 6x8. So there's only 48 letters.
Okay.
And then if you go You can do medium, hard, and pro. Pro is 11 by 14, so it's a pretty decent looking puzzle. But when you start to go through and say, I'm going to do cities or foods or drinks, as you start to go through those, you just find like, oh, this is same words. And that's okay. I mean, it's not terrible. I don't mind them having a limited, there's only 30 puzzles for cities, so I might see Portland, a handful of times.
Sure.
But, there are a handful, I don't want to say a handful, but maybe just under 24 categories to do under themes.
Okay.
And then you can do those under all 4 of those: easy, medium, hard, and pro.
Okay.
So then as you go through and you finish them, you collect these little coins.
Mm-hmm.
There is like a daily challenge that you can do that you can get different gifts.
Yeah.
They reset, once a day, but it keeps track of like what was your best score for the easy, medium.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do the pro until you hit level 50.
Okay.
To get the full unlock. It's cool. It's scratched my itch.
Yeah.
But I feel like at a certain point I'll be okay, I'm ready to move on.
Sure.
Let's see what other people have done for word searches.
Right.
Is it the ads that are kind of keeping me from really enjoying this?
Right.
Or is it, the graphics? You can unlock, when you get so many stars, you can unlock different backgrounds.
Oh, okay.
Behind, so you've got like this white,
mm-hmm.
With the black letters, but then behind it you might have like a picture of a beach or mountain range or
sure,
canyon.
Yeah.
That's purely aesthetic stuff.
Yeah, it's like a Windows 98 screensaver.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. The design just, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's like an extra customization feature that was just like, yeah, this is easy enough to program in. Let's let people do that.
Yeah,
sure.
But it's cool if you're in the market for a word search game, or if you just you're new to smartphones and found our podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
You'll find there are tons of word search games out there. This one, as high as it's rated,
So when you get into like the higher difficulty levels, have you played some of the pro levels and stuff?
Yeah.
So do they have any kind of like red herring words or words that are in there that aren't part of the list of ones you have to find? Okay.
Nothing that's like, oh, that's really close.
Yeah.
I would have liked if it was like, it doesn't have as many letters.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's a ton of V's and L's throughout this thing. And as I'm trying to find, like the word flavorful or something, like that might be really difficult.
Yeah, sure.
Or words might be like, oh, these are close to the word, but not quite.
Right.
It's just basically the full alphabet.
Interesting.
So if you're looking for like, oh, there's an X in this.
Yeah.
Then you can kind of scan it quickly and find out like, oh, there's only 4 X's in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just figure out which direction it goes.
Sure.
But yeah, it's not, I'm not trying to take a crap on this game.
Yeah.
But it's just, I was just surprised. I was like, oh, this isn't quite a 4.8.
Yeah, for a
star
4.8
game
rating in the Play Store, you expect a certain amount of features and graphics and things like that. And it seems like this falls a little short of that. It still seems like it's a good game, passable, playable game.
And there are a lot of puzzles. I mean, under, like I said, each of those like 24 categories.
Yeah.
You've got easy, medium, hard, and pro.
Sure. That's a lot of puzzles.
There's a lot of puzzles to do, but when you complete them, you'll have to watch an ad. Right. Sometimes even like the daily challenge, just to participate in the daily challenge, you have to watch an ad. So it's a little frustrating. I would have, maybe if there was like a $1.99 remove all ads or $5, like at a certain point, I feel like there is a breaking point where, yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this.
It's not worth my time at this point.
Yeah.
If I can't get out of the ads, sure.
So I might be on the hunt for another game just to compare.
Yeah, what's out there.
Yeah. But I do have a feeling that in the age of DoorDash and Uber, everything being like a 5-star or nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like the 5s are probably being thrown around a little too fast and loose.
Yeah, sure. This is it passes, but it's really a C.
Yeah. And I don't know how this sounds, but I also think about who's the demographic of this game.
Sure.
And people say, oh, this is great. This is better than, I can do way more than I've got in my book.
Yeah.
I'm glad to watch it. Like some of these puzzles, I look at them like, man, I'm knocking this thing out way too quick to watch ads.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe as for hard and pro, if it was every other, who knows?
Sure.
But yeah, so word search, word puzzle game by Blackout Lab. It's good, above average, but not a whole lot above average.
Okay.
Me. So, yep.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
You betcha. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.